Instructions for the 7-band puzzle ring. The one that I'm showing you here is our 7NSP, which has a nice flat top to it, very masculine. And you'll notice with the 7-band rings, there's always one band that goes straight down the center. And this is a challenging ring. It's not an easy one to put together. It takes a little patience. So, when you take the ring apart, you always want to hold that center band. And when you shake it, there should be 2 on the bottom. And normally, when you bring this up, you bring one up on one side and one up on the other. Now, occasionally, these bands will push through one another if it's been fallen apart and left hanging. So, in that case, when you're holding that center band, if you bring one up and it's on the wrong side, it'll just gently go right back through that band. Again, you shake it, there's 2 on the bottom. So one up on each side. And that's your number 7 band in the center, your number 1, and your number 2. Now these are, we call these your rounded bands. And if you look at, with this ring, the rounded bands, which your 5 and 6, have a little sort of triangle on them. Not all the 7 bands have that. Some are just curved there. So you want to real gently take your 5 and 6, which are the ones that are sitting at an angle, and they just lay up like that. Now, with me, the lip is facing away from me, and your number 6 band is on top. It's over that band in there. And on the bottom are your 3 and 4. So at this point, you just grab your 3 and 4 and drop everything else. Now, when you've got the number 4 with the stamps facing you, you take the number 3, and this is just a little tricky, it's a 180-degree clockwise turn. And that locks the bands in. So you just take the number 3 and you twist it 180 degrees. Now that locks all the other bands in. So if you turn it upside down, that little X is in there and it's holding all these bands in the right place. At that point, you take the first band on the same side, which is your number 6, and you weave that in, and it'll just flip up. Then you go to the other side, take your number 5 band, you weave that in, and you just got to sort of work it in there, and it will flip up. At this point, I generally pretty much push that 7 down the center. You can leave it loose. Now you want to turn in your number 2 band, and just sort of leave it laying there, and turn in your number 1. And the one thing you have to make sure of here is that if you look at the side of the ring, you'll notice that there's yours, where your 6 has come down. There's your 5. So your 2 has to be the next one in order to come down, and it'll fit together well. If you don't have it that way, what happens if your number 1 is under your number 2, it's not going to want to come down. So you just got to always take that number 1 and make sure it's the last one to go down in that order if you're looking at the side of the rings where they're alternating. And that's your ring finished.